who is the co-curator for the exhibition, the Woolworth at 100. How many of you have seen the exhibition? Yay, great. Well, the rest of you didn't raise your hand. We are open Wednesday through Sunday from noon to 6, and the show has been extended beyond its July 14th date that still is announced in some places. So it has been extended by us because we think it's a great show and we want to continue it until September 8th. So there's time to see it, but I hope that we will definitely whet your appetite by this experience this afternoon in order to rush down this weekend in order to see the show in much greater depth. Let me, because they're not here yet, but Elise Jaffe and Jeff Brown I want to mention again, and so maybe some of you will remind me to do that later, because the fact that we're here in the Woolworth building is a kind of difficult space to control. We hope everything's going to work out. Elise and Jeff, by virtue of their sponsorship and underwriting of this lecture, at the very last minute, bought us this screen and that new projector that we've got. So we're very excited. It's the first time we've used any of this stuff. And we hope everything's going to be clear and work seamlessly. But also my good friend, architectural historians, who most of them have been around almost as long as I have in this profession. So we're very accustomed to looking at a screen and advancing our slides, but there's no computer up here or anything. Our electricity is coming out of that stairwell and over to Georgi, and that's it. So we're here in this wonderful space. You got to traverse the lobby in order to reach it. We have, maybe if you came in the right direction and you did check in, and by the way, if you didn't check in, please do check in with Ellie or someone at that corner, because we're keeping all the names. We turned 30 or 40 people away today by overbooking only slightly the amount of chairs, and I can see we're pretty full right now. But we hope there'll be enough space for everybody and that we won't have any empty chairs. But there is a lobby guide to the corbels, and someone was just asking me about, we want to know more about who's who or what's in the ceiling. Well, you have the world's expert on the Woolworth building, Gail, here in order to ask during the break on any particulars and archive footnotes. And she is the author of this lobby guide to the corbels, the little caricatures of the people of the Woolworth team that you'll see in the lobby. So you can get one of those, and during the break you can go around and look and see who everybody is. So let me, now that I realize that my watch doesn't run anymore, inopportunely, because I thought it was only approaching 1 o'clock, but it's now well after, so we're behind schedule already. But and that means that I will follow on my plan to not give voluminous introductions of the luminaries who are speaking here today. But let me just say that the people who are talking this afternoon are the experts in the world on this material. The only reason, well, I don't know what reasons they're here today, but the only reason I think that I could have lured them all here for this afternoon is because they've already done the work. They've already published the articles. The stuff is all in their heads, in their folders, in their desks. And they love the building and they want to talk about it. It didn't involve new work to be here, but the idea, really the premise of today's talks and is a dialogue amongst all of us, but especially as people who have in their scholarly careers looked at the Woolworth building, looked at Gothic architecture, looked at American architecture and urbanism and all of these issues. And I hope by virtue of these little glimpses that we're going to look into the career of Cass Gilbert and into the idea of the Gothic revival and into the comparative framework for terracotta, which is such an important part of the story of the Woolworth building, that we'll find some new niches to decorate and develop for the future of the scholarship of the Woolworth building. So that's the idea, and by virtue of that, I am not going to give these long introductions, but we'll just do the lineups in order of Kevin Murphy and Mary Beth Betts and Joanna Merwood Salisbury. Kevin is, as you can read on the IDs on the back of your program, is the head of at CUNY of the Department of the PhD studies in the area of art history. And his books, I'm just going to mention books by people, include The Houses of Greenwich Village, American Townhouse, Colonial Revival, Maine, Memory and Modernity, Viollet-le-Duc at Vézelay. And he is currently, or has been working for quite a while now, compiling a compendium volume of well-known architectural historians who work on the Gothic Revival skyscrapers. So what better person to launch us into the topic than Kevin Murphy? Followed by Mary Beth Betts, who many of you know, who is not here in her capacity as the research director of the Landmarks Preservation Commission. She's here as a private individual, but also because she's published widely on Cass Gilbert. When she also did the exhibition at the New York Historical Society in, do we know what year that was? Do we know? Okay. But she was the curator for architecture there and organized the Gilbert archive. So Gail worked many a day and hour and week with Mary Beth. And then Joanna Merwood Salisbury, who is at Parsons in the Parsons New School for Design, and is the author of Chicago 1890, The Skyscraper in the Modern City. So she has focused on our competitor in the arena of skyscrapers, and also a book called Aftertaste, Expanded Practice in Interior Design. So those are our three speakers.